Something has already begun for you, Gemini, a shift so quiet you may have almost missed it. But by the end of this video you will be able to name exactly what is changing and why this new chapter is going to be stronger than anything you have experienced in a very long time. There is a certain feeling that arrives when a new season of life is truly beginning. Not the forced, hopeful feeling of someone trying to convince themselves that things are getting better, but the deep, settled sense that something real is moving. Something underneath the surface. Something that has been building quietly, almost invisibly, and is now beginning to show its shape. If you have had even a glimpse of that feeling recently, even just a moment of it between one ordinary task and the next, then you are already inside the new chapter. You just may not have recognized it yet for what it is. This video is going to give you 10 clear signs that this stronger chapter has already started for you. Not signs you have to look for in the future, but signs you can recognize right now, in what is already happening around you and inside you. Stay with this until the end because the 10th sign is the one that confirms everything, and it is the one most Geminis overlook entirely. Sign 1. The first sign that a stronger chapter has begun for Gemini is a shift in what you are no longer willing to accept. This sign is easy to overlook because it often presents itself as irritability or impatience rather than growth, and so many Geminis dismiss it as a mood rather than recognizing it as the evolution it actually is. When you are entering a stronger chapter, your tolerance for things that are beneath your true standard drops. Quietly, naturally, without any dramatic decision, you begin to feel friction in situations and dynamics that you once moved through without much thought. A conversation that once felt ordinary now feels hollow. A pattern in a relationship that you used to navigate around now feels impossible to ignore. A habit, an environment, a way of spending your time, something that used to feel like just how things are, begins to feel like something you can no longer comfortably maintain. This is not a crisis. It is not a problem. It is alignment. When you are growing into a stronger version of yourself, the things that belong to a smaller version of yourself naturally begin to feel uncomfortable. The discomfort is the signal. It is your inner self adjusting its standards to match the person you are becoming. For Gemini, this sign often appears first in the way you respond to certain conversations. You find yourself with less patience for surface-level exchanges, less tolerance for situations where you are not genuinely valued, less ability to pretend that things are fine when they clearly are not. That shift in your internal response, that quiet but firm sense of no, not anymore, is not you becoming difficult. It is you becoming clear. It is the beginning of a version of you that will no longer negotiate away the things that matter most. When you notice this sign, do not rush to smooth it over or apologize for it. Recognize it. It is one of the first and clearest indicators that something real has begun. The stronger chapter does not begin when everything outside of you changes. It begins when something inside you changes, when the standards shift, when the tolerance for the wrong things drops, and when the readiness for the right things rises. That is what is happening for Gemini right now. You are not simply reacting to your circumstances. You are rising above them. And that rising begins with exactly this kind of internal shift, quiet, firm, and undeniable. Sign 2. The second sign that this stronger chapter has started is that you have been getting clearer about what you actually want. Not what you think you should want, not what sounds reasonable or practical or safe, but what you genuinely, deeply want. This kind of clarity is different from wishful thinking. It does not feel floaty or uncertain. It feels solid. It feels like a knowing that is sitting somewhere below the level of thought, in the part of you that does not second-guess itself. For Gemini, this is significant because you are a sign that is genuinely capable of finding interest and value in many different paths. That breadth of curiosity is one of your greatest strengths, but it can also make it difficult to commit fully to any single direction. When everything is interesting, nothing is urgent. When everything has potential, nothing stands out clearly as the thing. But lately, something has been clarifying. You may have noticed it as a recurring thought, an idea or a desire that keeps returning no matter how many times you move past it. Or you may have noticed it as a growing sense of boredom or dissatisfaction with things that once occupied your attention, paired with a quiet but persistent pull toward something specific. That pull is real. That clarity, however incomplete it may still feel, is one of the most unmistakable signs that you are entering a new and stronger chapter. Because clarity does not precede the chapter. Clarity is the chapter beginning. The universe does not hand you a full map before you take the first step. It gives you one clear direction, one clear sense of what wants to emerge, and then asks you to move toward it. For Gemini, right now, that one clear direction is becoming visible. You know more than you have known in a while about what you want your life to look like. Let that knowing guide you. Let it become louder than the noise of obligation and expectation. That growing inner clarity is not a small thing. It is the seed of everything that is about to grow. Sign 3. Sign 3 is about rest, specifically about a shift in how your body and mind are responding to rest, and what that shift is telling you about where you are in your journey. When you are in the middle of a depleting cycle, when you are stuck, overextended, or grinding against circumstances that are not moving, rest never quite restores you. You sleep and wake up still tired. You take a break and come back with the same weight. The fatigue is not physical. It is the fatigue of misalignment, of spending your energy in ways that do not feed you back. But when a new chapter is beginning, when the energy around you is genuinely shifting, rest starts to feel different. It becomes genuinely restorative. You wake up and notice that something has cleared overnight. You take a quiet afternoon and come back to yourself in a way that feels real. A walk, a moment of stillness, an hour of doing nothing in particular. These things start to work again in a way they have not for a while. If you have noticed recently that rest is actually resting you, that you are waking with something closer to readiness rather than reluctance, that the pauses in your day are starting to refill you rather than simply postpone the exhaustion, that is sign 3. It means your energy is reorganizing. It means the internal work that has been happening beneath the surface, the letting go, the clarifying, the quiet repositioning, is releasing the drain that has been running in the background. For Gemini, this is an especially important sign because you often push through fatigue rather than listening to it. You are a sign that finds rest difficult. There is always more to think about, more to explore, more to respond to. But when the chapter is truly shifting, even Gemini finds a new relationship with stillness. If rest is starting to work for you again, receive that as confirmation. You are moving into something more aligned, and your body knows it before your mind catches up. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Sign 4. The fourth sign that a stronger chapter has begun is that your relationship with patience is changing. Not because you have suddenly become a more patient person in the abstract sense, but because you are finding it easier to wait for the right things, now that you are becoming clearer about what those right things actually are. There is a kind of impatience that comes from feeling trapped or uncertain, the urgent, anxious need for something, anything to happen, because the stillness feels unbearable. And then there is a different quality of patience, the kind that feels grounded rather than resigned, the kind that does not feel like waiting at all but more like knowing that what is coming is worth allowing to develop at its own pace. If you have noticed recently that you are less frantic about certain outcomes that used to feel urgent, less compelled to force movement where movement is not quite ready to happen, less anxious about timelines, that is sign 4. It does not mean you have given up. It means you have settled into a deeper trust. For Gemini, this shift is rare and meaningful. Your mind moves quickly. Your thoughts generate quickly. Your desire for stimulation and novelty means that slow development can feel agonizing. But right now, something has steadied in you. Something is allowing you to exist in the in-between space without that familiar urgency to resolve it immediately. That steadiness is a gift, and it is one of the clearest markers of a soul that has grown. One that no longer needs to grasp at every outcome because it has developed genuine confidence in the process. You are in that place now. Recognize it as the strong, evolved posture that it is. Sign 5. Sign 5 is showing up in your creativity, in the way ideas are coming to you, the way your mind is connecting things it did not connect before, the way something that felt blocked or flat is starting to move and spark again. Creativity for Gemini is not separate from well-being. For you, it is deeply intertwined with it. When you are in a period of stagnation or misalignment, your creative life reflects it. The ideas feel recycled. The inspiration feels forced. The projects that once excited you begin to feel like obligations. But when the chapter is shifting, when something in your inner life is genuinely opening up, creativity returns in a way that feels almost involuntary. Ideas arrive without being summoned. Connections form between things that seemed unrelated. A phrase, an image, a conversation will spark something that sends a current through you, and you will find yourself reaching for a pen or a phone or a notebook to capture it before it fades. If you have had even 1 or 2 moments like that recently, moments where something lit up inside you unexpectedly, where your mind felt genuinely alive with a new idea or possibility, that is sign 5. It is the creative energy of a new chapter announcing itself. For Gemini, when creativity flows freely, everything flows more freely. Your mood improves. Your relationships feel lighter. Your sense of possibility expands. And right now, that flow is returning. It may be just a trickle at the moment, but a trickle is how every great river begins. Pay attention to what is sparking. Follow the thread of what genuinely interests you, without needing to know exactly where it leads. The stronger chapter is speaking through your creative impulses, and what it is saying is worth listening to. Sign 6. The sixth sign that a stronger chapter has begun is perhaps the most personal one on this list. And it is this: you are beginning to treat yourself differently. Not dramatically, not with any grand declaration, but in the small, daily, almost invisible ways. The way you speak to yourself when something goes wrong, the way you respond to your own needs when they arise, the way you allow yourself to feel good about something you have done without immediately diminishing it. For Gemini, self-compassion is something that often arrives late, if it arrives at all. You are a sign that holds yourself to high standards. You are deeply aware of your own inconsistencies, your own contradictions, your own moments of falling short of what you know you are capable of. And that awareness, without the balance of kindness, can become a habit of quiet self-criticism that runs constantly in the background of your inner life. But lately, something has been shifting. The internal voice has been, perhaps just slightly gentler. When you make a mistake, something in you pauses before launching into criticism. When you accomplish something, something in you allows a moment of real satisfaction before moving immediately on to the next task. When you feel tired or struggling, something in you offers a little more understanding rather than immediately pushing harder. That shift, however subtle, is sign 6. It is the mark of someone who is beginning to be in a better relationship with themselves. And that relationship, the one you have with yourself, the quality of the conversation happening inside your own mind, is the foundation of everything. A stronger chapter cannot be built on a foundation of self-rejection. It requires self-respect. And you are building that now, one small daily act of inner kindness at a time. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Sign 7. Sign 7 is about the quality of synchronicity in your life right now, the meaningful coincidences, the timely arrivals, the moments where something you needed showed up at exactly the right time in a way that felt like more than accident. For Gemini, a sign that the chapter is shifting is often found in exactly this kind of experience. The right conversation happening on the right day. An unexpected piece of information landing when you needed it most. A person reappearing in your life at a moment when their perspective is suddenly exactly what you need. A door opening just as you were beginning to wonder if any door would. These are not random. They are the universe responding to your internal alignment. When you are in a cycle of stagnation, synchronicity tends to dry up. Things that should line up do not. Timing feels off. The flow is missing. But when you are entering a new chapter, when your inner energy is shifting, when your clarity is growing, when your trust is deepening, the synchronicities begin to accumulate. They arrive more frequently. They feel more pointed. They feel as though something intelligent is arranging the pieces of your life in ways that serve you. If you have noticed this happening recently, even in small ways, that is sign 7. It is confirmation that you are in alignment with the energy of this new chapter, that what is moving in you is being met by what is moving around you. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. Receive them as confirmation. They are the universe's way of saying yes, yes to the direction you are moving, yes to the version of you that is emerging, yes to the chapter that has already begun. Sign 8. The 8th sign is about the conversations you have been having, or, more precisely, the quality of connection you have been finding in them. When you are entering a stronger chapter, the conversations that feel most alive to you begin to change. The surface-level exchanges that once were enough begin to feel insufficient. You find yourself drawn more naturally toward depth, toward conversations that go somewhere real, that involve genuine honesty and genuine listening, that leave you feeling more expanded rather than simply more stimulated. At the same time, you may find that certain people you have always known, people you see regularly, seem more interesting to you than they did before. Or you may find that new people are arriving in your life who seem to speak your language in ways you have been quietly longing for. Both of these experiences are sign 8. They reflect the way a stronger chapter expands not just your inner life but your relational one. As you grow into greater clarity and self-understanding, your appetite for connection that matches that depth grows as well. And the universe tends to respond to that appetite by shifting the quality of what arrives in your world. The people in your strongest chapter are different from the people in your previous ones, not necessarily different people, but the same people meeting you at a deeper level because you are now willing to show up at a deeper level yourself. Pay attention to what is opening up in your conversations right now. Notice where real connection is forming. Those threads are worth following. They are part of the fabric of what is being built. Sign 9. Sign 9 is about your body, about the way your physical self is responding to this period of transition, and what it is telling you about the changes happening beneath the surface. When you are entering a stronger chapter, the body often registers it before the mind catches up. You may notice shifts in your sleep, not the exhausted, restless sleep of a period of high stress, but something settling into a more natural rhythm. You may notice changes in your appetite or your energy across the day. You may notice a growing desire for more movement, more fresh air, more physical care. A natural turn toward the body as the channel through which new energy is going to flow. For Gemini, the body can be easily overlooked. Your life tends to be lived so much in the mind, in the realm of ideas and conversations and possibilities, that the physical self can sometimes feel like an afterthought. But right now, the body is speaking. It is asking for attention. It is asking to be part of this new chapter, not just to carry your brilliant mind from one place to another, but to be genuinely nourished and cared for in a way that will support the life you are building. If you have felt any pull recently toward taking better care of yourself physically, any nudge toward more rest, more nourishment, more time in nature, more gentle movement, that is sign 9. Do not dismiss it as unrelated to the bigger changes happening. It is directly related. The stronger chapter requires a stronger foundation, and that foundation includes the body you live in. What you do with your physical self right now will either support or limit everything else that is trying to grow. Sign 10. You have arrived at sign 10, the one that confirms everything, the one that most Geminis overlook because it does not feel like a sign of strength at first. Feels in the moment like vulnerability. Sign 10 is this: you have recently allowed yourself to hope again. Really hope. Not the guarded, hedged half-hope of someone who has been disappointed before and is protecting themselves with careful expectation management, but genuine, open, undefended hope for something good to come. Something in you has lowered its guard. Something in you has allowed, even if just for a moment, the feeling that things are going to be okay, that the next phase of your life could genuinely be better, fuller, and more alive than what has come before. For Gemini, this kind of open hope is one of the bravest things you can feel, because you are wise enough to know that hope can hurt. You have hoped before and been disappointed. You have believed in things that did not materialize, trusted in directions that curved away from where you wanted to go. And all of that history can make hope feel dangerous, can make it easier to stay in a place of ironic detachment or careful neutrality than to allow yourself to want the good thing fully without armor. But you have allowed it. Something has cracked open in you and hope has come through, quietly perhaps but unmistakably. And that, Gemini, is the clearest sign of all that the stronger chapter has truly begun. Because hope is not naive. It is not weakness. It is the energy of the new chapter itself, arriving ahead of its visible form. It is the future reaching back toward the present. And when you feel it, really feel it, without immediately pushing it away, it means you are ready. It means the ground inside you is prepared to hold what is coming. Let yourself feel it. Let it grow. You are entering something real, Gemini, something strong, something yours, something worth every moment of the journey that brought you here. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are. These 10 signs are not predictions. They are reflections, mirrors held up to what is already unfolding inside you and around you. The stronger chapter is not something that will begin when conditions are perfect or when you feel fully ready. It has already begun. Right now. In this moment. In the very fact that you are here, watching this, paying attention to what is moving in your life. Gemini, this is your time. Not someday. Now, trust what you are feeling. Trust what you are seeing. Trust the quiet but unmistakable sense that something real and good is underway. Because it is.